Good day everyone and welcome to my round 5 AFL fantasy wrap-up video. I hope you all had a fantastic Easter weekend and hopefully your fantasy team went alright as well. So for me, I scored 21.91 this week, which was a pretty decent score and one that was definitely well above par for the round, and that was reflected in the rankings where I finished 286 overall for the round and increased about 9,000 spots in the overall rankings from around 14,000 to just under 6,000. So pretty decent week for me, and after a rough couple of weeks it's nice to finally post a big score, and hopefully that really kickstarts my season and I can build on this moving forward. So now I'll have a look at how my team performed this round, but first we'll have a look and revisit the trades I made going into the round, and they were Connor McDonald down to Sam Hayes. Now that was just mainly for a cash grab really, and considering Scott Lysette suffered that injury and Sam Hayes would take over that number one ruck for Port, I thought now was the right time to bring him in there, and that allowed me to trade out the injured Patrick Cripps for Andy Brayshaw. Now I would have liked to keep Cripps ideally and hold on to him, but I thought with my ranking where it was, I thought it was a good opportunity to chase some points, and considering many would hold Cripps this week, I thought maybe trading him out could actually give me a little leg up, and by having one extra kind of premium on the ground. And I brought in Andrew Brayshaw. Now he's someone who I've wanted in my side for a long while, Brayshaw, and I really wish I started with him as he was in my side a lot of the pre-season, but good to finally have him in my side now, Brayshaw. So now have a look at my team, starting with the defenders. Jack Crisp, 125, an awesome game from Crisp, and when he goes big, Jack Crisp, he goes really big, and very happy to have him at D1, Jack Crisp. Lockie Whitfield, 101. It was nice to see him post his first fantasy ton of the season, Whitfield, and I thought he played a pretty decent game actually, and I think it's been pretty well noted that he's a bit battered and bruised at the moment. He's playing sore, but I think he's going to soldier on and play through it, and all things considering, it was a very good game from Whitfield, so happy with him. George Hewitt, 83, a nice decent score from Hewitt once again, and a lot of the comp owns him, so nothing too much to worry about there with Hewitt. James Sicily, 118, wow, he was awesome, wasn't he? And that was all set up by that huge first quarter he had, scoring 60 points in that one quarter, and that was not so great to watch as a Cats fan myself, but from a fantasy perspective it was just awesome, and he continues to be a great pick this season, James Sicily. Daniel Rioli, 70, a nice decent score from him, and didn't quite reach the heights as he has in the last couple of weeks, but he continues to be very reliable and very serviceable, Daniel Rioli. Nathan O'Driscoll, 68. He was pretty good actually, O'Driscoll, and seemed to be playing that role on the wing for the Dockers, and if he continues to play that role he should score around 60 to 70 most weeks, which is nice, and he should keep his spot in that side for the near future at least. And Fremantle are travelling pretty well though, they're in some red hot form and they do have a lot of depth, so he'll have to continue playing well, but he's on the right track at this stage, O'Driscoll. Now onto the bench, Paddy McCartan, 39. His scoring has tapered off a bit, McCartan, but that is to be expected considering he's playing as a key defender for the Swans, so I'll look to move him on at some stage in the not too distant future, McCartan, and feel free to move him on as if you have him, as he doesn't have any more cash to make. And then Sam De Koning, 33. As we touch on every week, he's just a heartbeat there at D8. So now onto the midfield, and Jack McRae, 119. Just your standard Jack McRae game really there. There was a bit of a scary moment though when he had to be pulled from the ground to undergo a concussion assessment at around 3/4 time, but luckily he came back on the ground, so there's no dramas there. Lockie Neal, 119. He just continues his awesome run of form, Lockie Neal, and whenever he's not being tagged, he just racks up the pill, and he'll be putting his hand up to be a top 8 midfielder by season's end, you would think. So he's just been one of the picks of the season, Lockie Neal. Then on to the man who I brought in this week, Andrew Brayshaw. Whacked the captaincy on him straight up, and yeah, he didn't disappoint, scoring 123 as captain. And yeah, as I touched on just before, he's been someone that I really wanted in my side for a while now, and he's a gun player, and he's just having an awesome start to the season. And I also reckon he's a sneaky Brownlow chance as well, Brayshaw, if he continues this form up. So yeah, my team feels much stronger with Brayshaw in it, so well done to him. Then on to Tom Green, 102. He had a monster last quarter to reach that ton, Tom Green. He was on about 55, I think it was, at three-quarter time, and he just had a fantastic last quarter to reach that score. And he was a bit disappointing last week, Tom Green, so it was nice to see him ton up this week, and hopefully he continues on an upward trajectory, Tom Green. Will Brodie, 76. A nice solid score once again from Brodie, and yeah, his time on ground was very low once again, but he still manages to put up nice scores, Brodie, so he stays in my side for a while yet. Jai Caldwell, 67. He was disappointing again, Caldwell, and he'll go for me this week, barring any significant carnage. And yeah, he just spends way too much time starting at half forward, which is impacting his fantasy scoring. And yeah, whenever he has a bad game, he's just not getting past that 65 mark at the moment. So yeah, he's been a good pick overall, Caldwell, but yeah, it's probably time to go now for him. Then Nick Dacos, 80. As reliable as always, Nick Dacos, and as you can see there, he now has that defender status, so that's going to be very handy, being able to flick him back, and yeah, I'll definitely make use of that in the coming weeks. Jason Horne-Francis, 56. He was a little disappointing, I thought, Horne-Francis. He did have plenty of the ball, but just not enough marks or tackles to really make that a big score. And he's another one that I am looking to move on this week. It probably is a bit too early to do it, but I think there's a couple of midfield rookies that are downgrade targets at the moment, and I think I really want to make use of that. And yeah, he's probably still got a bit of money to make, but yeah, I'm definitely looking to move him on. I would encourage others to also do that at this stage. Now onto the bench, Josh Ward, 58. He was solid enough, Ward, and he's another one though that it could also be on the chopping block, as his cash generation has probably stagnated a bit now. He's probably reached his maximum price almost, and yeah, he's another one that I'll look to move on, but he's been pretty good this season, Ward. Jackson Mead, 40. He was okay, I guess, and he does have forward status now, as you can see there, so that will be handy for some flexibility moving forward. But I think he might be in danger of losing his spot in that Port side, though, considering Ollie Wines is due back this week, so yeah, he could be in a bit of danger there. So now onto the rucks. Max Gawn, 132. He backed up that huge 140 from last week with another massive score, Max Gawn, and yeah, it took a while for him to warm into it, but he's definitely hitting his straps now, and he'll probably be the number one ruckman in fantasy this season, so good to see him back into form, Max Gawn. Brody Grundy, 54. An absolute stinker from Brody Grundy, and he just doesn't look himself this season, Grundy, and you're not sure what's going on there. He did cop a lot of criticism in the media following that performance, and a lot of talk about his contract and all that stuff, so I think that might spur him on for next week going into the Anzac Day clash. I'm tipping him to really bounce back in a big way and post a big 120, so I wouldn't encourage anyone to trade him out, but yeah, keep an eye on him, as Tristan Cherry with that ruck status could prove a bit handy, and it's pretty tempting to just trade him straight out to like a midfield premium, but yeah, not just yet. I'd think I'd back him in to have a big one next week. Onto the bench, Sam Hayes, 51. Brought him in this week. He'll be better for that hit out, Sam Hayes, and yeah, he's playing as a number one ruck, so his scores will be pretty solid, you would think, moving forward, and it should be a good cash cow. Onto the forwards now. Josh Dunkley, 105. Continues to have huge last quarters, Josh Dunkley. It's amazing to watch, and yeah, awesome to have him as a forward. Adam Treloar, 109. He's a real barometer for my team, Adam Treloar. It seems like whenever he's scoring well, my team's going well, and yeah, good to see him post triple figures this week, and show a bit more of a ceiling. So well done to Chalor. Stephen Cornelio, 98. Would have loved to see him hit triple figures, considering he had a really good game, I thought, on the weekend. But yeah, we'll take that score from him every day of the week. Zach Butters, 109. Very nice to see him post a big score this week, Butters, after a lean patch the last couple of weeks ever since I brought him in. But yeah, he was awesome playing in that midfield and really turned the game around for Port, along with Connor Rosie, when they had that awesome comeback that just fell short on the weekend. So yeah, that should do him the world of good and give him a lot of confidence. So hopefully continue to post those triple figure scores. Zach Butters. Tristan Cherry, 86. A very good game from Cherry once again, and continuing to play that role as the number one ruck for North. So yeah, he'll be in my side for a while yet. Nick Martin, 68. He was good. He kicked a couple of goals and yeah, continues to be a very reliable rookie, and he's still got plenty of coin to make. So happy with him. Onto the bench, Corey Durden, 46. That's the kind of score you would expect from him as a small forward, and yeah, he's making cash slowly, but yeah, he's still been pretty serviceable at this stage, Durden. Then Hugh Dixon, 59. He was good again, Hugh Dixon, and yeah, with Nick Natanui out of that Eagles side, he's getting a bit of ruck time at the moment, so he's one that I wouldn't be afraid to even field if I need to in the not too distant future. Hugh Dixon, and he's got plenty of coin to make, which is nice. Onto the utility position, Marcus Windhager, 36. He was a little disappointing, you could say. Yeah, the Saints do have Hunter Clark and Zach Jones due back in the side, so I think his spot is in a bit of danger, which is unfortunate, as that will stop his cash generation moving forward. So there you have it. That's how my team performed in round 5. A big score of 21.91 this week, which skyrocketed me up in the rankings. So yeah, nice week for me this week, and hopefully I can build on this moving forward into the rest of the season. So now I'll talk a bit about what my early trade plans are at this stage, and what I'm looking to do at the moment is downgrade a Jason Horne-Francis to Ben Hobbs. Now, Ben Hobbs debuted for Essendon on the weekend, and he was solid, scoring 72, and now priced at 293k, so there's plenty of coin to make doing that move. They'll pocket me around 180k or so, and already having 87k remaining, that should allow me to upgrade a Jai Caldwell to a premium sort of midfielder. I'm looking at guys like Callum Mills, Darcy Parish. I could also bring Patrick Cripps straight back in if he's named. And then there's also the option of bringing in Tim English into the forward line as well, who's had an awesome start to the season. So I think if I can get Caldwell to a kind of premium type, that really puts my team in a strong position. Yeah, really strengthens it up. So barring any major carnage at team selection, that's what I'm looking to do with my trades at the moment. So that's all for today's video, guys, and thanks for watching. And by the way, thanks for everyone for subscribing and watching. It's much appreciated. I started doing this as just a bit of a hobby for myself, really, and yeah, I'm really enjoying doing it, and hopefully you are enjoying watching the videos each week. And yeah, as always, be much appreciated if you could like, comment, subscribe to support the channel moving forward. So thanks again for watching, guys, and good luck in round 6. Bye, guys.